So today I'm gonna talk about something that I've been wanting to talk about for a long time now. But the reason I never have is because until this point I didn't really consider it a serious problem. It was more so an annoyance and something that I wished would not be there, but it is a problem now. And I definitely want to talk about it today. It is, of course, AI generated content on Modrinth. I don't want to sound all doomy and gloomy, but right now it is actively ruining the platform and it is taking the joy out of just scrolling Modrinth and discovering new cool projects. So let's go and have a chat about it. Before we do that, make sure to double check if you're actually a sub to the channel. The vast majority of my daily viewers are not actually subscribed. If you could just double check if you actually press that button, I would appreciate it so extremely much. Okay, so ever since AI came into our lives, we've been debating what to do with it. Every single platform takes a different approach to this. YouTube, as an example, is now fighting back against AI-generated content because their platform is being filled up with AI-generated slop, which a lot of users don't really enjoy. So every single AI-generated video now has to be marked as an AI-generated video, and YouTube is actively demonetizing AI channels, meaning that you can still upload AI-generated content as long as it is not spammy slop and as long as you do not monetize it. Meaning there will be less incentive to upload videos that are AI-generated, which in my opinion is a good thing for the platform. But today I of course don't want to talk about YouTube and whatever they are doing, I want to talk about Modrinth. One of the biggest, if not the biggest, Minecraft resource distribution websites out there. There's of course also CurseForge, which debatably is bigger, but they also serve a wide variety of games. Modrinth is only focused on Minecraft. And Modrinth has always had a very laid-back approach to AI. During many Q&As and other PR stuff that Modrinth has done, the community has asked questions about AI-generated content. Is it allowed? Yes or no? What is your policy? What are you gonna do with the search of AI? And for a platform like Modrinth, that is a very important thing to know, because the main thing that Modrinth distributes are mods. And coding is one of the things that AI bots like Gemini and ChatGPT can do. They're a chatbot. If it is possible inside of a chat, they can do it. You can ask an AI agent to just write a Minecraft plugin for you, and it will then do that. That doesn't mean it will do a good job, but it is something you can ask, and because it is all text, it is something that a chatbot can do. But you know, should that AI-generated code in the form of a mod or a plugin then be allowed to live besides user-created content? Now, Modrinth has always been very clear about this. The answer to that question is simply yes. Essentially, everything on Modrinth is allowed to be AI generated. The code of the mod, the description, the icons that you use, the gallery images, other assets, everything is allowed to be AI generated. Now, the reason that Modrinth has decided to not just ban AI is due to a few reasons. The most important one being that it can be quite a challenge to enforce AI banning rules, because at times it can be quite hard to detect if a certain text or if certain code is AI generated or not. Don't get me wrong, sometimes it's really easy and simple, but there are times where it can be complicated. And I've witnessed this myself as well. Sometimes on Discord I just write a message in my general chat that is simply grammatically correct. I'm using capital letters in the right spots and I'm using commas in the right places. And when I write a message like that, a message that is nothing more than just grammatically correct, there will be people in my Discord being like, oh, cause I used AI for this message. No, I didn't! It is simply correct grammar. And AI, of course, does this too. When you ask it to write a message, it will make sure the grammar is on point. So yes, I can totally understand that for text, for example, it can be hard to determine if something is AI generated or not. Because well formatted, without any grammar mistakes, doesn't automatically mean AI generated. But it can mean that. And it would of course be really awful if Modrinth would ban real user-created content content that to them feels like AI generated content. So I can see the enforcement challenge there. There's of course also the burden that it will take longer for Modrinth to approve projects if they also need to check everything for AI use. The waiting times on the platform are already really long, with it sometimes taking over a month for a new project to get approved. So I understand they don't want to make that any worse, but basically what Modrinth has said is AI generated content is allowed as long as it follows all of our other policies. If it just follows the terms of service and the default policy that Modrinth has, then it doesn't matter if it is AI generated or not, it is fine. And for the longest time, I didn't really mind. No, I'm absolutely not a fan of AI-generated content. But the reality was also that I didn't really notice it that much. Every once in a while, I would stumble upon something which was clearly AI-generated. So AI-generated that I would even classify it as AI slop. You know, something uploaded to the platform in the hopes of maybe it generating some revenue. But that was only like once in a while. It was very uncommon. But that has, unfortunately, completely changed. You guys know that I cover Minecraft plugins and mods on the channel very often. And every once in a while, I do a live stream where all of my viewers can suggest Minecraft plugins that I will then test out live on stream. But as of late, it has become harder and harder to do them because a huge portion of all the suggested plugins are so AI generated that they barely work. We open Modrinth, we go to plugins, and we sort by date published, meaning the newest projects will show up here. Cool. Third plugin, an obviously AI generated icon. We open the page and there's a big piece of text here. Whether this is AI generated or not, that is up to you to decide, but the icon clearly is. We scroll down once more and what is that? Oh, another AI generated icon. That is fun. Well, let's just scroll down once more because there is another one. And oh, look at that, another one. How nice. We go to the next page. Oh, look at that, another one. Here we got one more, titanium player info. We go to gallery and this is basically the definition of AI generated content. Like, what is that item? Not a Minecraft item, that's for sure. I also don't know what that is. It kind of looks like a book. And I guess that thing there is supposed to be a beacon, but it's not a beacon. It's not any block inside of Minecraft. This one is also a great example. It still has the Gemini icon. I mean, you can't make it more obvious than that. And I could go on like this for a long time because these AI generated profile pictures are everywhere. And they have been here for a long time, don't get me wrong. But the quantity of them has increased so much that every few plugins that you see has a sloppy AI generated profile picture. And the thing is, right, an AI generated icon does not immediately mean that the whole plugin is AI generated and that the whole thing is AI slop. Those are not the same thing. The art is separate from the plugin itself. The thing is though, I am definitely not the only one who has gotten really frustrated by all of this AI generated art on the website. And as a YouTuber who tests out a lot of Minecraft plugins and mods on the channel, I speak from experience when I say that a lot of projects that have an AI generated icon usually also have AI generated code. Definitely not always, I want to make that very clear. But in a lot of cases they do, which is also really sad for the people that did fully code the plugin or mod themselves, but they're just not a very good artist, so they asked AI to create an icon for their project, and immediately it just tanks everyone's expectation when it comes to that project, because the project may be awesome, but just due to the lack of presenting it in a good non-AI way, people are probably not gonna download it. And I know I'm not only speaking for myself, because during those live streams, the moment I open a plugin that has a clearly AI generated icon and a clearly AI generated description, the chat will instantly explode with people saying, just skip this one. Just skip it, I don't even care. We don't want to see if the plugin itself is AI generated or not. The whole presentation is awful already, so, you know, let's skip over it. And in my opinion, that shows the general consensus really well. Most people will assume if the page looks AI generated, that the code is AI generated too. In most situations, that is actually the case. But in the few instances where that's not the case, it still just completely ruins the expectations of your plugin or mod. Because people are automatically gonna assume that it is AI slop, even though it may not really be. I have numerous ways for you guys to suggest plugins and mods to me. I have a Discord server where there is a suggestions channel where you can leave any suggestion for a plugin or mod that you want. And at the bottom of my website, kasai.gg, there is also a forum which you can fill out to leave a suggestion. The reality is that 70% of all the plugins and mods that get suggested through any of these means have these AI generated profile pictures and descriptions. And in a lot of cases, the code is AI generated too. Now, how do we determine if something is AI generated? Usually if it just doesn't work. There are lots of cases during those live streams, for example, where we decide to download a plugin anyway, even though the page looks very AI generated. In most cases, it becomes clear that the plugin is also generated due to the whole thing just being very broken. The plugin allows you to open an inventory, but every single button that should be a button in the inventory just doesn't work. Or the standard features of the plugin are there, but the whole logic behind it is just missing. And it will make for situations where maybe some basic commands inside of the plugin do work, but anything which is just a bit more complex will instantly break. And because this has happened so many times during so many of those live streams that I've done, I am now also a person who immediately does not trust an AI generated icon. When the page screams AI generated, I'm more likely to just skip it because I don't want to have another one of those broken and disappointing experiences. And it is so sad because I've always really loved just scrolling Modrinth and stumbling upon brand new plugins and mods and cool projects to cover on the channel, but it has just become such a hassle to do so because such a substantial percentage of Modrinth is just AI generated now. I don't own Modrinth and I can't tell what they should and should not do, but I do very much believe that the current policy of Modrinth, which is allowing anything that is AI generated, is actively scaring people away from the platform, including myself, because I'm already no longer having fun just scrolling Modrinth and finding new projects, because there is so much random slop on the platform. And I want to make another thing very, very clear. I am not against the use of AI in general. If you've written the description yourself and you after that want to spell check it using an AI bot, or you want to ask the AI bot to proofread it for you, just to double check if everything you've written comes over the way you intended, then in my opinion, that is totally fine. And if you've written a bunch of code, and if you want to double check with AI if there are any bugs in it or why a certain thing is not working, then in my opinion, that is fine as well. There is a really big difference between using AI as a tool, so to like do spell checks or maybe find a bug for you, or to use it as just a full-on generator, where you basically tell it, hey, I want to release a plugin on Modrinth that does this. Can you generate all the code, some art, a profile picture, and a description so I can release it in the next 10 minutes? Those things are very, very different from each other, and using AI as a tool is something I can get behind and I can understand. And that's also not the content I'm fundamentally against. What I am against, and which I do think is really a problem for Modrinth, is specifically the AI slop. The plugins and mods that are probably only generated in the hope to get a bit of ad revenue from Modrinth and that literally spam the whole website. And what do I mean with spam the website? Well, this is a great example. Here we got a clearly AI generated profile picture. Let's click on it. Let's go to the creators page. And wow, a very big assortment of plugins, all with a clearly AI generated profile picture. Oh, but Kasai, how are you so sure that they're AI generated? You see that little dot there in the bottom right corner? Yeah, that's a Gemini icon. And this one has it as well. And this one has it as well. And this one has it. Okay, you get where I'm going with this. Some users are literally spamming the website with as many plugins as they can. Like literally releasing maybe more than 10 in a single month. 10 plugins in a single month. That's insane, by the way. Just in the hope of one catching on, gaining a lot of views, and therefore them generating a bunch of revenue. Throwing all the slime balls against the wall, hoping that one will stick. And I don't know a solution either. I completely understand that Modrinth is having a hard time determining what is AI generated and what is not. I know some of you at home will probably be like, oh, Kasai, I can easily see if something is AI generated or not, but it is not always that easy. Like a sentence with good grammar is not automatically AI. So from a business side of things, I can see Modrinth having a problem with this. But one thing I do know for sure is that they need to do something. Because if they're gonna allow this AI generated content to just completely completely take over their website. At some point, the majority of the content on Modrinth is just gonna be AI generated, which is bad for developers, bad for users, and because of that, also very bad for Modrinth as a platform. Okay. I've yapped a lot today. I understand this video was a bit of a rant, but I've kept off making this video for a long time because initially it wasn't really a problem to me. There was AI generated content, it was not so prominent. It is becoming so prominent now that there's really no way around it anymore. And it just really saddens me to see real content from real humans that spent a lot of time and effort into their project getting buried under all of this AI generated stuff. That's gonna be it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Do make sure to sub to the channel if you've not done so yet. Join my Discord. Thank you so much, channel members. And then I will see you in the next one. Bye bye. See you later. Bye bye.